All right, this is 21st of July. This is the third time we're doing this, and let's cover what's happened in the world of crypto over the last week. As many of you might have heard, WazirX has been hacked. And what I'm going to do is just spend a little bit of time walking through the timeline, right? So there was talk and chatter of this happening on 18th of July. And one thing that I like about Nischal is that he's always been open and transparent when it comes to updates. So we start seeing updates that have come from WazirX. One from the afternoon of the 18th, in which they talked about a security breach for one of their multi-sig wallets, and then a detailed update the same evening at around 10:26. Right, talks about how there were 6 signatories, 5 from WazirX, 1 from Liminal, and there was a policy to whitelist destination addresses, and they had been earmarked and facilitated on the interface by Liminal, and the WazirX was able to initiate. Now, the cyber attack happened because the data that was displayed on the Liminal interface and the actual content of the transaction, there was a discrepancy. And because of which the team, whoever was planning to make that transaction, was able to do it without the team realizing what happened, right? If any of you have used the Ledger or any other hardware wallet, you will also know that there are ways in which you are supposed to verify the transaction address. You're supposed to see what the transaction address is on the screen and also on the device, and only sign off when those transaction addresses are identical. Anyway, I'm sure this was not a simple hack, and the hackers have made away with almost $230 million, which is close to 2,000 crores. Right? Other updates that have come through. They've filed a police complaint. They've reached out to the FIU, the Financial Intelligence Unit, and CERT in. And reaching out to more than 500 exchanges to block the identified addresses. So what you should know about how the blockchain ecosystem works when some of these things happen is that funds move from address to address, and because it's all on the public blockchain, everyone can see. The key for the hackers is going to be a couple of things, right? Either they go to an exchange where they can use an off-ramp and convert it to fiat, and then go away with whatever fiat currency that they want, and go into the real world, for which it is important that all exchanges that are there are cooperating, so that when these funds move, these stolen funds move to a crypto exchange, you're able to identify who those users are who are converting it into fiat, right? So KYC addresses, KYC accounts, all of that becomes extremely important. At the same time, the other option could be that these guys will lie low, or they will, instead of moving funds or lying low and not moving funds, they could also go out to mixers, right? So mixers are platforms which are usually decentralized platforms, where you can swap a given currency for something else, and the way these are designed is for anonymity. So it is possible that people are able to take the stolen crypto and go to one of these mixers and change it into some other crypto, and it might become difficult to figure out what the trail and the path is, right? But this is how it plays out every time. Since it's public blockchain, you are also able to get other people, white hat hackers, to come in and participate and try and help out. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this plays out over the next few weeks or months or even years. Interestingly, and this is something which shows the dark side of human nature, when things like this happen, you have even more scammers and hackers who come out of the woodwork. What seems to be happening right now is that a lot of scam bots are actually piggybacking on the fact that WazirX is undergoing this, and they are putting out posts and tweets and emails asking WazirX customers to click and actually phishing them for other crypto, right? Or phishing them for their login details and stuff like that. So yeah, just important to be careful. That's what WazirX is saying. Please verify the sources that you're clicking on, and these are the official links. Nischal also, I believe yesterday, talked about a bounty program. This is fairly common practice that people use to create an incentive for white hat hackers and for people to actually put in effort. There could be experts who are sitting in any corner of the world, and this is a good way to rally the best of talent that's out there and become and join a force which is trying to take the hackers down. So that's the update that he had from yesterday. Another update that came in was track and freeze. If there is any actionable intelligence that leads to freezing of funds, that's worth about $10,000. And then if there is effort that can lead to recovery, a 5% incentive of the recovered amount as the reward, right? This was earlier today at around 4 p.m. And then they got a feedback from a user, Zach XBT, who seems to have more than 600,000 followers, and he's an investigator who's recommended that the recovery should go up to 10%. So that's the update that we have, and this is Zach's Twitter account. Anyway, this is the page that talks about the bounty program: tracking and freezing bounty, white hat recovery bounty up to 10%, time frame run for a period of 3 months, but the same period might be amended, extended, or reduced. Submissions must include clear evidence linking the tracked addresses to the stolen funds. Proof of concept, POC, demonstrating how the funds can be tracked, should include detailed transaction trails, analysis of blockchain data, and identification of addresses and their associations. Needs to be actionable, which should result in the freezing of the funds. And verification. WazirX will verify the information. And interesting times. My heart goes out to WazirX and Nischal and everyone else. Let's see how this plays out. During the week, I also stumbled upon WELD. As many of you know, WELD was a platform that offered good yields. It was popular. I think it was a Singapore-based platform. And then it kind of imploded a couple of years ago when the markets turned and a lot of funds were lost. So WELD, like many other good platforms that have undergone challenges like these around liquidity, has decided to do what they need to do to make their customers whole. So I just was looking at this, and it was interesting to talk about how they're looking at what is the token balance, what token, how much was the balance, and what was the value in USD as of 4th of July 2022. Do you want to opt in for the conversion, yes or no? And then there are two tracks. There's a variable recoveries track, and then there is a prorated track, which is distribution from liquid assets and illiquid asset realization. It's interesting to see, and this is what seems to be the current recovery summary. Total token recovery is about 68%, total USD is 93, about $19 million worth of USD has been recovered. I had used WELD, but I have long believed that not your keys, not your coins. So I do remember after using it for a certain point of time, I did consciously make the effort to completely move my crypto off of WELD and then take it to self-custody. So yeah, I think I managed to escape this thing by a few months. All right, a few other updates. BlackRock reveals a competitive 0.25% fee for the spot Ethereum ETFs. And BlackRock is saying it's going to charge a 0.12% fee for the first 12 months or up to the initial 2.5 billion. Similarly, Fidelity said the same 0.25% fee and would waive the sponsors fee until the end of the year. 21 shares in Bitwise are charging 0.21% and 0.2% respectively. Grayscale is 2.5%. It's 10 times what the others are charging. It added a 0.25% fee and a 12-month waiver. Franklin Templeton is doing 0.19% and waives the fee for the first $10 billion. Similarly, Van Eck is doing 0.2% and fee waiver will last 12 months from launch or up to the first 1.5 billion. And then Invesco Galaxy also 0.25%. So it's going to be interesting to see how this happens. As all of you know, they approved the rule changes for spot ETFs on 23rd of May. And funds are expected to secure the final approvals next week and will begin trading on 23rd of July. 23rd of July is day after tomorrow. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. Research firms are saying that Ethereum to Bitcoin ratio has risen significantly since the regulators approved the ETFs in May. It's gone from 0.045 to 0.05. And it should only deepen when the ETFs come online as soon as next week. And one interesting thing that you should know about Ethereum is that because Ethereum now is proof of stake and there is this concept of you staking coins, which is basically putting a certain amount of Ethereum onto the network and then being able to earn a yield. They're saying that the ETF is also going to be interesting because Ethereum comes with some hard to pass features such as an annual yield, right, and more functionality. The offers not seen in Bitcoin. So far, historically, it's been about 32 Bitcoin that you need to actually stake to be able to operate as a node. But then, like mining pools exist, there are staking pools that exist where you can stake less than 32 Ethereum. And you'll be able to actually earn a yield on it. It's not the full yield that you will get, but it's like a majority of the yield that you will get. All right. Another couple of updates. BRICS, Russia is Putin apparently is asking for more regulation in mining to protect Russia's power grids. Their crypto mining consumes approximately 16 billion kilowatt hours per year, which is about 1.5% of their electricity consumption. And they're worried that it's going to impact the power grids. So as you probably know, in Russia, they have legalized currencies, crypto, as digital financial assets, but banned their use from paying for goods and services. Right, but crypto mining is popular because of cheap electricity, and Russia sits second behind the US in terms of crypto mining. Right. Another article talks about PayPal. As many of you know, PayPal got into crypto. Basically, they a few years ago said that they would allow all their merchants to receive payments in crypto, and they would enable all their users to purchase stuff from their merchants in crypto, right? So this talks about how the amount of crypto that PayPal is safeguarding or custodying was about $600 million in quarter 2 of 2022. And that seems to have gone up almost 4.5 times. It's about $2.85 billion in crypto. Large part of that might have happened because of the appreciation of the underlying crypto itself, but some of it could just be because people have put in more crypto into their PayPal accounts. And interestingly, PayPal also has its own branded stablecoin, PYUSD, which is issued in partnership with Paxos. So they're using that as well, and that seems to have hit almost $5 billion worth of on-chain volume on Ethereum. And I think it talks about how In hindsight, PayPal's savvy decision was to not add 20, 30, 40, 50 n number of cryptos. They only stuck to the core ones, the most popular ones, the most reliable ones, which were Bitcoin, Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, and Ethereum, apart from PYUSD. So it'll be interesting to see how PayPal. And when this happened, I remember thinking it was such a power move because this was done towards the end of the last bull run. And I thought it was such a smart move because in every bull cycle, you will find a lot of people who make money. And then the question becomes, how much of a market share can you get from those people who have now created this newfound wealth, who want to spend it? And then you need to be at the forefront. You need to be one of the few firms who is able to take a large share of that spend, which is what I think PayPal did brilliantly when they announced that they would start accepting crypto. Finally, last article. Bitcoin self-custody comes with a new crypto ring. There is a company called Tangem, and they are designing a hardware wallet in the shape of a ring. So they're combining self-custody with wearables, and they want to enable day-to-day transactions. So it's going to have similar protections as its Visa integrated hardware wallet, which is in a card form. And it's going to be protected by an access code, and cryptocurrency will be blocked even if the ring gets stolen. And this is actually a very true point. It talks about how many crypto owners can't always be tied to their desks to manage their crypto, which creates the need for a mobile wallet like a crypto ring, which is true, right? I mean, for my ledger, I can't carry it with me all the time. At the same time, if I'm on the go, if I want to use my crypto, there is no easy way to do that right now because you need the hardware wallet. So the ring will initially launch without featuring a payment capability, and it's going to be available for pre-order. Will begin shipping from the end of October this year. It'll integrate with Visa payment chip sometime next year, and available in all countries where Tangem Pay currently operates, including Europe and the UK. Talks about some regulations around self-custody. Apparently the European Parliament was also considering putting a $1,100 limit on self-custody wallet payments, but has scrapped it. But they say that it's expected that self-custody will be one of the main drivers when it comes to adoption of crypto payments, which seems reasonable. That's all I had. I'll see you next week. Thank you.